Thank you very much for joining us. Suspected NPP youth have locked out the CEO of the Tamale Teaching Hospital. And I'm joined on the phone line now by Hashmin Mohammed, our correspondent in the northern region. Hashmin, what can you tell us?
Well, what I have gathered from the Tamale Teaching Hospital is that late yesterday in the evening, some suspected youth stormed the facility looking for the chief executive officer of the Tamale Teaching Hospital. They went to his office. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. They met his secretary, and they gave a marching orders to the secretary to leave the office. And after the secretary did that, they locked up the place and wrote an inscription on the main entrance to the CEO office that he shouldn't return to the facility. And this morning, as I visited the place, it remained locked.
And why are they doing that?
Well, it is unclear what led to the incident, but they are accusing the CEO of indulging himself into politics, and they are also saying that he's mismanaging the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
Do you know whether they're locking the administrative office has affected running of the hospital in any way?
A while ago, I spoke to the deputy PRO of the Tamale Teaching Hospital, and he tells me that normally each and every day, the CEO will have to sign memos for them to be able to procure or for them to be able to take drugs at the special pharmacy. But that has not happened today because the CEO office has been locked, and then the keys have been taken away by the irate youth that stormed the facility.
What about the daily activities that those who probably have gone to the OPD and other sectors of the facility? How are they? Are they being attended to, patients?
Well, they have been attended to. For healthcare itself, it is running smoothly at the various points, but it is just the administration of the facility that has been affected.
And Hashmi, before you go, do you know for how long the offices will be locked for?
That I cannot tell because according to the PRO, the youth went away with the keys, and not until maybe the police intervened for them to get a new key or for them to be able to trace the youth and get the key, then that means that they cannot operate anytime soon.
Thank you very much. Hashmin Mohammed is our correspondent in the northern region. I'm joined on the phone lines now by Farid Ahmed. He is the public relations officer of the hospital. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Farid, if you can hear me. Thank you for joining us.
I can hear you loud. Good afternoon.
Great. So we understand that the office of the chief executive officer has been locked. How is the hospital? How are you managing without the presence of the CEO?
Thanks for this opportunity. I'm the deputy PRO of the hospital. So from there, yes, the secretariat to the CEO's office and that of the director of administration's office has been locked out since yesterday at 2 p.m. by the youth of the NPP. So yes, as it stands now, it's still locked and the key. So they are not operating from that office now, but other work is going on. Other directors and deputy directors are carrying out their daily duties and responsibilities as expected of them, and the various units are functioning. But within the shortest possible time in the course of the week, some units may come to a halt if the director of administration and the CEO is unable to access their office, because the memos will have to be signed or approved, checks will have to be signed, requisitions will have to be signed, and these are done by either the chief executive officer or the director of administration. So if they don't have access to their office, work may come to a standstill in the not too distant future.
Quite serious there. And which units are you anticipating could come to a halt if these officers do not report to work?
Any unit at any point in time could come to a halt, because, for instance, let's take the surgical unit. If requisitions are brought for CEO to be signed for clinical materials to be sent to surgery, or the theater for surgery to be performed. And we cannot find a director of administration to sign the requisition. Surgery cannot be performed because when you go to the stores to pick those clinical consumables, you will need the signature of the director of administration authenticating the requisition before issuance are made. So if that is not done, people who need to go through surgery will not be able to go through.
And you've mentioned very soon in this interview. What do you mean by very soon? Is it a week or 2 weeks?
Well, what we do is that the hospital practice the decentralized system. For instance, let me maintain the theater or the surgical unit, for example. There is a store they normally pick their materials and keep for usage, either a week or two. And when the materials runs out, they request for new ones. So we don't know the stock that they have now as to whether it is nearing finishing or they still have it. But as it stands, the theater is being frequently used. So at any given point in time, they can run out of material. And there is no fixed day or time that they will run out of materials. Even midnight, they can run out of material from their decentralized store. And they will have to depend on the major store for supply. So, like I said, within the shortest possible time, who knows, it could be today or tomorrow or Friday or over the weekends, we could even be more dicey.
In all of this, have the police been there?
Certainly they have. Yesterday, a report was made to the police as soon as the youth entered the hospital. And before, their action was just within the shortest possible time. By the time the police came in, they had left. So the police came back again yesterday in the evening just to patrol for a few minutes and left. But the report has been made to the supervisory minister, that is the health minister, who also promised to relay the information to the National Security Minister and all those concerned. And at this juncture, let me say that the Regional Police Command has been very instrumental and helpful. And I've spoken with the Regional PRO, Mr. Tete, who has promised that they are on standby. And anytime we need their services, we should just alert them.
Have they provided special security for the hospital, for instance?
They have not, but there is security within the hospital who are in their mufti in one way or the other. At least BNI have been around, the CID have been around, but not in their uniform.
And then, as we speak, where exactly is the Chief Executive Officer?
Today being Wednesday, the Chief Executive Officer also go, consult on Wednesday. And at the time I went to the consulting room, he had not come. Normally, they do the ward rounds before they come to consult. But I spoke with him, and he was also in another meeting because there are some interest groups, opinion leaders, and chiefs who need to be informed officially of the happenings at the teaching hospital. So he currently, the time I spoke with him, he was not in the hospital, and he promised he will be coming to the hospital when he finishes with 1 or 2 rounds outside the hospital.
We'll end it here. Thank you very much, Ahmed Farid, and he's the Deputy Public Relations Officer of the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Let's still stay up north, and hundreds of travelers have been stranded in Buipe in the northern region since Tuesday night, following the closure of the main bridge that connects to Kintampo in the Munoahafu region. The bridge has been closed for repairs, according to report. Joy News has also learned that vehicles are stuck in all lanes, bumper to bumper, on a stretch that will take an hour to drive from one end to the other. Drivers complain of increased cost of work as they claim the alternative route left for them has increased travel times. And Joy News' Justice Baidu, who is currently on assignment in northern Ghana, is in the town for us and joins us on the phone with more. Justice, what is the situation there now?
So what is happening at the moment, Beatrice, is that this town, which is usually a busy town with a lot of traders running after vehicles who are stuck in traffic because of the bridge here, has now come to a standstill. If you know the geography of Buipe, Buipe is the entry point to the northern region if you are coming from Techiman and then also from Kintampo. And so it is really like a situation where the town has gone dead because this is a town that heavily relies on the trade activities that comes as a result of the white Volta that is here, and also the major trucks that go through here, and then the buses. This bridge that has just been closed is a really strategic bridge, not just for the 3 regions in northern Ghana, but even for neighboring countries in the south region like Burkina Faso and Togo, because this is where most of the goods from ports like Tema and Takrade come through. And so for many of the residents here, the next 2 weeks seems like a long time for them. But the higher authority, which is represented here at the toll booth that I've been speaking with, tell me that this is something that is a necessity for them, because this bridge, in its nearly 50 years of existence, hasn't seen any major repair work. And the drivers who ply it daily complain to them that it is really in a situation that needs attention. And so for them, it is a welcome news that the repair work has started, even though it also means that their revenues have had to take a dip over the last 2 days since it's been closed. And so for them, over the next 2 weeks, seems like very little activity for them, but it's something that they think should really happen.
Justice, let's come to those who have been stuck, and we understand as far back as 8 p.m. last night, have they resorted to using the alternative route, which earlier they complained was too far?
So the alternative route, apart from this bridge, is a really long distance. Like again, I said, if you know the geography of this region, if you are not going to use the Buipe bridge, you then, so for example, if you are coming from Kumasi and you want to come to Tamale, usually you would go through Techiman, come through Kentampo, and then you come over this bridge through Buipe, and then you would be in Tamale, which would take you about 4 hours roughly. But because this bridge has been closed, you need to stop over at Techiman and then go through Wenchi, come through Bole Bamboy, come to Sola, Junction, and then come through, turn again through Damongo, and then come to a point where they call Fofoso Junction before you head up to Tamale. And so it's like going a U-turn. So it's almost like twice the traveling time you would usually go because of the closure of the bridge. And so it's a really long distance for the drivers. And so I think they closed it at 2 p.m. So that's what happened yesterday. They closed it at 2 p.m. and then opened at 6 a.m. And so all that time, most of the cars would wait. Others would decide to go through the longer route, which is through the Bole Bamboy Solar route. Beatrice.
All right, we'll end it here. Thank you very much, Justice Beidu, reporting for us from the northern region. Now, 11 suspects are in the custody of the Kumasi police for sexually molesting an alleged thief in Kejetia. 26 suspects were screened this morning. This included 23 males and 3 females. 15 of the number have been discharged after today's screening. The 11, according to the police, will be assisting in investigations in relation to the maltreatment and sexual molestation of a woman believed to have stolen some money on Val's Day, 14th of February. Erastus Saridonko has more.
So our search and investigations into this story brings us to the doorstep of this security man. You see in the video, in fact, the video of the girl being molested, you find this gentleman in there. He tried as much as possible to help rescue the lady. Let him tell us. Diana is here, who tries to help a girl no, at a point.
Okay, boss. They're buying so Mitia. Na mu say o ma bo naked o mu di freba nti me trust and come me rescue no nti me rush ye no ana ba ku pushi me nti mama atare kura na efi nti me trust and come me fresh central police for no me ya anko ana me jaya na betrance nti mu say re o ma sana say go for more o mu titia no so they happen ya no na me twem.
Well, so he's saying that he was sitting here, he's a security man here, and he saw them bringing the lady naked, parading her from down here, just behind me. And so he tried to go in and rescue the lady, but then he was pushed and hustled, and at a point in time he got his uniform even dirty, in some way, and so it wasn't yielding any results. He tried to call the Central Police. It wasn't going through, and so he has to come back and continue his job as a security man.
And just say, baby, we are the idea. Don't want you say, you babu and I see job or bad. I see to me born naked. No be owns idea now, no name yet. And to me, cram a baby Pearson, no cran, I am out of hope. And so we heard you about we are sad and idea. And you can see your bono, your enemy be a buyer, run on your bono drama, man, sent you next time, no, your day. And the next time, no, 1 year sad in the
Well, he says that he was on his way that fateful day to Adum, and he saw that the lady had been made to go in the nude. And he's saying that, well, he believes that as a lady in this part of Ghana, when you steal, they do not have to beat you up, but then they have to remove your clothing, make you go naked for everybody to see what you did.
The moment of being so obey smart, obey the obey bino, your child, you're born naked, you go my so obounce obey we are there. Obabuna, but to me, most of the Bema, ever boy be pre proud. Tidometi Maya and his own day, Omero, and Omero, Miko, nobody require day, after I say, omit me a boy and so when shall be a boom mobile, I'll bet you a free on my test.
I spoke to Erastus Osare Donko, who told me what the police have been doing about the situation.
It's still one thorny issue at the moment because the police do not have a clue where the woman is at the moment. They are still trying to trace where he is. We are also doing same. We've laid contacts across, but it has not yielded any results as yet. We are still continuing the search for the woman.
Let's come back to those who were arrested earlier, those who have been let go. You're saying that 11 of them are suspects right now, 15 have been let go. Did you find out from the police whether they will ever go back to these 15 people?
Well, what I've been told is that there were some who were not connected to the crime in any way. They screened them. Some of them they think have something to do with the case. Either they were part of the whole mob or they were connected in some way, one way or the other. And so still, with 11 people, they are still going to aid police in investigations. And in the course of the investigations, it will be established whether they are part or linked to the crime in any way.
And for the 11, are they being kept in custody right now?
Yes, exactly. The 11 are still in custody.
And what have they charged them with? The police, what have they charged them with?
Well, I asked the same question, and I was told that they are being held as suspects in the case of assault on the lady in the video which went viral. Those were the exact words of the police. And so they are being held as suspects now to be charged. They are going to conduct investigations within the next 2 days. And if they are linked or connected to the crime in any way, then they will be formally charged and processed for court.
Let me come back to the lady briefly. Do you know whether there's a special search by the police to get her, to give her some assistance and also for her to help in the investigation process?
What I do know is that the police did not take down her details, where she lives, who she is, whether she has family, where she stays in the country. All we do know at the moment is that she's Nigerian, and we do not know what kind of work she does. Those details were not taken by the police. They simply gave her a medical form to attend hospital and report same back to the police. But as of now, she has not reported or returned the medical form to the police. She's at large at the moment, and so efforts are being made to link her up as we speak.
Still to come here on News Today on Joy News, swift intervention by the fire service has prevented what could have been yet another fire disaster at the Kumasi Central Market. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly.